Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Lindsay Fabrizio. I am the Continuum of Care Manager with the Housing Collective. And today you guys are here for the workforce training, which is an overview of the Secure Jobs Program. We have Latangela Lowe from Career Resources, who is here with us today. Really excited to have her explain this program for you guys. As I have mentioned in some previous trainings, if you have been a part of them recently, all registered participants of today's session will receive a copy of the recording as well as any information, forms, etc., that are being presented today, so that you guys will have that. The information will be shared via email and also on Roundtable if you are on that platform. If you are on this call under someone else's email address or under someone else's account and you did not register yourself directly, then please make sure that you put your email address where you want to receive the information in the chat so that I have it so I can include it, because I will just be pulling it from the report on the Zoom registration list. So if you are I sometimes see multiple names of the same person. So just make sure that if you're not who you are on the screen, that you're just making sure you're sending me your email address. I think that is it for the housekeeping for me. I do have a very short survey that I'm going to include at the end of today's session. I'll share the link with everybody just to give us some feedback on the session. And also, if anyone has any thoughts or suggestions for future trainings, that we are able to start incorporating those. We're in the process of planning for our future sessions for the second quarter of this year, and we would love to be able to cover topic areas that you guys find very helpful. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Latangela.
Thank you. Um, Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here. My name is Latangela, the leading case manager for the Secure Jobs Program. I want to give you a review of the program, of our goals. So, the Secure Jobs Program is here to provide support for permanent supportive housing program, rapid rehousing programs, with resources to gain more stable employment to help families survive while inflation increases in Connecticut. So, with that being said, let's say one of your clients, they're either employed or maybe unemployed. We help them find employment. Um, if someone, if you're helping someone search for an apartment and they're looking for an apartment and they're working one job and they may have a second job as well, the first job is probably giving them maybe full-time hours. They're probably getting paid about $24. The second job, part-time, is giving them at least minimum wage. With that income, they're only bringing in after taxes about $2,599. If they are in need of SNAP and they go to apply for SNAP, they are over the over $200 to receive that. If they're searching for an apartment, they're going to be under $200 to get the apartment. So then that creates a barrier for the client. Our focus is to get them better training skill jobs with better pay so that they can survive while the increase of inflation is going on around us. So some of the things that we provide would be employment, education, job training, help with applying for childcare or search for a job care or daycare, and other community resources. Now, when I mention employment, I don't have jobs for the customers, sitting there on my desk. There's things that they have to do to get this employment. They can continue to search for employment, how they've been going on their own, or I can share with them as well what I see. And with them having a CT hires account, they can access to view employment up there as well. They can see what job trainings are available. They can even register for the Viola program. The Viola program could get them connected to maybe wanting to continue their education in the medical assistant field. Maybe the customer may want to get a CDL license, etc. There's a bunch of information that they will learn within that orientation. From there, if they want one-on-one help with search for employment and help with building their resume or updating their resume, they still would have to go through the Viola program. and they will have to request to sit with someone from the business service unit. That person from the business service unit will sit with them and help them with their resume and share other resources of employment that is out there. The next thing I will say is the eligibility for the Secure Jobs Program.
Really
The
quickly,
purpose,
Latangela, sorry to
yes.
interrupt you. Can you
Mhm.
tell everyone what WIOA stands for?
Yep. WIOLA is the work. I don't have the background of it.
It's workforce.
Workforce Investment Opportunity Act.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes. So that's the program. And for the eligibility for the Secure Jobs Program, you must be able to work in the you must be able to work in the US. Participant must be a Bridgeport resident. The program is for families, not individuals. The child must be in custody of the participant in the program. The person must have custody or partial custody. And the child must be living in the household or partially in the household, as well as the child must be under the age of 18 for the participant to be in the program, male or female, doesn't matter. Next, I would like to share the Secure Jobs referral form with you. Let me see. Here is the form. Can you see it?
Hmm.
Okay. So this is the Secure Jobs referral form. The information that has to be on the form will be the name, the date of birth, the address, and remember, it must be a Bridgeport resident, their contact number, email if available. Referrals are received by, like, you may have the referral dated for um 3/3/6, but I may receive it on 3/12. That's going to be the date of the referral as well. All of these questions here need to be answered. And then down below, the case manager's name, the agency, email and phone number, and services that your participant is requesting. And yes or no if they are a veteran. The bottom section is for my is for my is for me to fill out, so you don't have to worry about that section. Just worry about everything above. And then lastly, I'll stop sharing my screen. I'll end this with my role. My role as a secure jobs case manager is to contact the customer once a week to help them stay on track of their goals. When we complete the secure jobs intake, we will then create a individual employment plan. And when I contact them, we will our conversations will be based on that individual employment plan. And I'm here for support. I understand their situations. I feel that um the time that I've been here, being the leading case manager of the program, has been a great experience in getting to know people and letting them know that there is support here to help them. I just want to backtrack real quick to one thing when we're talking about employment, because the employment piece where secure jobs really comes in is that we help with support with the barriers to employment. So if a customer is looking for employment, or if they have the employment and they needing help with getting to the job with transportation, there is services for that we can help with. So that's the bonus piece of the secure jobs program. And I would say that's basically it. I feel like I did that pretty fast because I'm a
You
little
did.
nervous, and I'm so sorry. But yes, that's the basics of the program.
So I have a couple of questions for you. So,
Yes.
because I know that you and I have talked about sort of what this is, and I know that I
Mhm.
myself had some some misunderstandings of what the point of the program was and for a while.
Yep.
So you as the case manager in this position are not necessarily the person that is like you mentioned, doing the job searching for the client or
Yep.
checking up on them every single day on, did you check out this job? Did you check out that job? Your position, my understanding, is more of that like an intermediary. Like you're the point where people kind of pivot to be able to do the things that they need and get access to what they need.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
The resource,
You're
like,
the resource.
giving them direction and coaching them on the on on the steps that they need to take to make their
Okay.
goal.
So if I am a case manager and I have a client or family, obviously it
Mhm.
has to be a family, and I have a family who, like you mentioned, is struggling to kind of fill in the gaps, and I
Mhm.
make a referral to you,
Yes.
what does that process look like immediately after you receive the referral?
So I've received the referral. I go over the referral information, making sure that the person that is eligible for the program. I would then reach out to the customer, letting them know that I'm contacting them to schedule an intake appointment with them, and looking to meet with them in person. But if that person may have work hours that they're not available during the day. So maybe then we can figure something out to where maybe it may be a little after hour time that, we'll meet then and maybe complete the intake over the phone. We have also even try to bring up suggestions that when the case manager is doing their intake to maybe call me in, and then I can be there as well at the same time and we can get it all done at the same time. Because once that intake is done, the customer then needs to sign the secure jobs authorization form. They have to be a registered CT hires customer for me to continue to work with them. So that's kind of the barriers that I struggle with, is getting them to that point of getting the CT hires account. Because maybe even as well, I have some customers that they may not know that they had the CT hires account already. And
Hmm.
then when they're being told about it and they're told to go register, they're having issues with logging in. But because this account has already been pre-activated for them, the password hasn't been created. So now they're locked out of the account because maybe their email that they used at the time is not active today. So now this calls for them to have to come into the center and receive help with that, with unlocking their account. But yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Yes, you did. That's really helpful. So it sounds like when someone is coming to you, they're not just coming to you and you're just sort of guiding them. It's more like, okay, you need to be referred to the Secure Jobs program and be a family and meet those requirements. But you
Mhm.
also have to have the CT Hires account set up.
Yes. Mhm.
Um, is it possible for someone who maybe had an old CT Hires account to open a new account, or is that
Yep.
why they need to come in because it has to be attached to their
Yes.
previous
Yep. Yes, it does.
experience?
Yes, yes. So exactly. So like when that happens, there's a process that they have to complete an intake. So they have to sit down with the intake person at the time and do the intake. It's just background questions like, where they live at, where have they worked, and the person has to have an ID with them at the time as well. So
Okay.
once they do that process, then the intake person would then help them to create the password. And then from there, I take them back to the computer screen and we tried logging in. So just for example, like one young lady, she was having issues with her account,
Mhm.
and she tried too many times to where she got locked out of it. So, it may take time to have to wait and, try again to make sure that you're able to access that account.
Okay. And then at what point in the intake is it determined that a person should be connected to WIOA as part of their process with you?
So that will be through conversation. That will be through what they want to do. Like really is what they want to do is if they interested in job trainings,
Mhm.
or either if they want that one-on-one help with the resume and the job search. So it's all up to the participant.
Have people been successful in the program without being connected to WIOA, or do you find the most success in those that are connected to CT Hires, to WIOA, and to you?
No, I feel like I have had customers be successful without having to go through Viola. I have participants that have come in with already a plan, and they, like, even one particular, he already had an interview within a couple of days from meeting with me. He got the job, and now he's on the road to trying to find a second job. I had one girl come in. She was getting ready for a training. She needed help with transportation. We was able to provide her with the help, with the assistance for that. She completed her training to become a AMR operator, and now she's hired. So I have seen customers come in and succeed without that,
Mhm.
and also some of them go through it as well and still succeed too. But it's really up to the customer. It's up to them what they want to do and if they really want this for themselves. But I just want them to know that I'm here and I'm understanding. I understand that we all struggle, we all lack in some area, but there's support here, and just trying to give them the information that they need.
A quick question. Is there, so you mentioned some eligibility. So what are some of the concrete things that someone must have from you, from where you sit and look at a referral in order to
Mhm.
determine if someone is eligible from their referral form or through their
They,
conversation
yep. For what? For the secure jobs
for
program?
secure jobs? Yep.
Yeah, they must be Bridgeport resident. Must be
Okay.
Bridgeport resident, must be legal to work in the US, because if they are not legal to work in the US, that creates a big barrier. There's not much resources for that right now because I have had customers come in that are not legal to work in the US, and some of them are struggling with getting their information updated, that some may have to go back to their country to those offices to get that assistance. Is been a big barrier. So the participants must be eligible for
Okay.
the work in
So
the US.
Bridgeport resident and at least have an ID or something to prove that they're legal to
Mhm.
be able to work in the US. That's the
Yes.
only like primary requirement.
And the children must be under the age of 18.
Got it. Perfect.
That's it.
Is there an income limit for WIOA that you're aware of?
No, I'm not. I am not. All I know is I don't know too much about Wayala. All
Okay.
I know the basic is that there's funds provided for certain trainings, and it's a certain amount. You can, like I said before, medical assistant, CDL, uh, they even, I believe, have a connection with construction work. There's many different types of trainings that a participant can choose from and gain a job training skill.
Is there, oh, I see Marcy answered. The WIOA is a federally funded program with eligibility criteria. Family size and income are included in the eligibility assessment. So maybe that can be another training that we can work
Hmm.
on bringing back to everybody for WIOA specifically.
Hmm.
Um, What is probably one of the biggest struggles that you have with getting people to stay involved and connected in this program? Because I know that you and I have had
Hmm.
conversations in the past where sometimes someone will connect initially and then they sort of fall off.
Hmm.
What would you say are the biggest barriers to that? Maybe is it a misunderstanding of the program or just a procedural issue, something that case managers could do better?
Hmm. I just think that mostly it's the participant. The participant has to be ready, and you know, they I want to say that where I struggle with the participants, I feel like if I was able to be there when the intake is being done, maybe the process could be a whole lot even more smoother. It's because I'm another person contacting them by phone, and they may not recognize a number, and they don't probably answer to unidentified numbers and probably won't even answer the phone. Or maybe they might agree to attend the appointment and still not show up to the appointment, things
Mm,
like that. So it's just if we can create that system to where I'm being able to be present during most of those intakes, that can probably make the process go smoother because we can get the CT hires done in the moment. And if they want to do Wiola, we can get that done in the moment as well because a lot of the case managers have the documents that are needed for that. There's going to be 7 main documents that are going to be needed for the WIOLA program. So with that, we can get all of that done in one spill.
Got it.
Hmm.
If someone, I think, because I know that this will probably come up too, if someone is, say, a case manager is working with a family and there is a transportation issue to be able to get them to the intake session with you, is
Hmm.
that something that can be easily accommodated? Is there any funding supporting the transportation of the client if it's not available on the case manager side?
Yes, it's possible that we can provide tokens.
Okay, that's
Yep.
helpful.
Hmm.
Let's see. Do you guys have a dedicated website for the Secure Jobs program?
No, we don't.
No? Okay.
No, not at the moment.
I think I saw someone ask that. Does anybody here have any questions specifically around the Secure Jobs program? I know it's sort of a smaller program and that not a lot of people tend to know about. Um, but hopefully if you're working with families, you are aware that it is a support that can be provided. Are you providing job readiness prior to employment?
That was a question to me.
Yeah, I think so.
So, there are other programs that provide that I can refer them to.
Okay. So that would be part of the intake conversation.
Yep.
So if they
Hmm.
come to you and they're like, all right, I want to be involved in this. I have the CT hires, but I'm not anywhere near prepared to being hired
Yes.
yet. I need
Yeah.
job readiness. As
Hmm.
long as they're eligible, then it sounds like you would then make an additional referral as part of their case management to
Yes.
something that would provide that support.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. Next question. Can outside people, friends, or relatives be referred or only clients on case managers' caseloads?
Only participants that can be in a secure jobs program are people that are in the permanent supportive housing programs like rapid rehousing.
Okay.
So those are where my referrals come from.
So permanent supportive housing, rapid rehousing,
Hmm.
maybe transition. I think we only have one transitional housing project left
Hmm.
in our region. Those types of programs is what it sounds
Yep.
like.
Hmm.
Okay.
That's it. But
Um,
customers can still go to any American Job Center in their area and they can receive services, just not services through the secure jobs program.
got it. Any other questions? I see some people sending me stuff, so I'm trying to keep track of everything.
Mhm.
Anything else that you think people should know that either of us might have missed?
Mm, no, nothing else. I feel like I went over everything.
Okay,
Yeah, I think I did.
great. All right. If nobody has any other questions, this was really intended to sort of be a quick and dirty overview of secure jobs.
Mhm.
I will give you guys a quick link to complete the survey if you have time to. We would appreciate that. Let me just grab it really quickly and put it in the chat. So again, the survey that I included in the chat is just a few quick questions just to ask about the content that was reviewed today, and then any information that you might have to share for any future trainings that you would like to see. WIOA could be one of them. I think that's something that a couple people have questions on, and we can work on bringing that to you guys in the future. But if there are no other questions, then I guess we will wrap up early today. And thank you so much, Latangela. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Sammy.
you your time and sharing all of this information with everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Take care, everybody.
You too.